YouTube says that a lot of people still don't understand how to deal with their procrastination. Videos about procrastination get a ton of views. This video will be a little different. It's not just a place to get some useful information. It's going to be pretty tough and honest conversation. You might even get offended or even hurt, but as they say where I'm from, you don't get offended by the truth. So in this video we are going to talk about why we procrastinate, why we put things off and don't follow the plans that could lead us to something different. Not necessarily better, but definitely different. We will break down the real internal reasons for our procrastination and try to find a comfortable way to increase our productivity. I always build my videos on my own experience. You shouldn't take the advice in this video as a call to action. Think of it as an example of how I get through certain situations in my life. This isn't a manual, it's food for thought. With my videos, I first of all want to show you that you are not alone in your problems. There are a lot of us and everyone goes through their own experience in their own way. But I encourage you to share your experience. This is the only way we can choose the best method for ourselves. So subscribe to this channel if you connect with the topics I talk about. And now let's talk about what procrastination is from a scientific point of view. Use your procrastination to have more time for life. You can study for 30 days to get an A+, or you can procrastinate for 28 days and get a B-. And this is a conscious choice. To sacrifice a perfect result for the sake of free time and peace of mind. Sometimes a good enough grade is the most effective strategy to save energy for things that really matter. In the world of programmers, there is a saying, no bugs, but features. This means that what seems like a flaw is actually a special part of the system. It's the same with procrastination. Maybe it's not a glitch in your system, but a built-in feature that is trying to protect you from something. It's the law of saving energy, just to be good enough. Our brain always looks for the shortest path and doesn't want to spend precious resources on things that don't seem vital. That's why it resists tasks that look complicated, especially when the reward is unclear. It's simply the desire to be good enough to survive and move on. But society demands that we get better and better. Social media, the culture of achievement at work, the constant success stories all around us, and all of this creates huge pressure. We feel like we have to be not just good enough, but the best. And any result that isn't perfect feels like a failure. Procrastination is not one decision, not just one single problem. And now let's speak about perfectionists and procrastination. They don't start because they feel they are not ready. Many of them prefer 100% of chance of getting an average grade over a 20% chance of getting the highest one. They prefer to do nothing at all than to do it just somehow. And here, let's say hello to our ego. Because if we do nothing, we won't make mistakes and nobody will criticize us. Which is logical, because we don't want to have negative experiences. It's like before you go fishing with friends, you watch hours of YouTube videos on how to fish correctly, just to be the best among them. We want to be perfect. We are not open to criticism. And all of this serves our ego. And in most cases, you only stop procrastinating when you know your work will be perfect. Often our procrastination is a way to compensate for something that happened in the past. If you tried something once, you failed, and you felt pain or shame, your subconscious will now sabotage any attempt in that area. It's like it's saying, remember how bad it was last time. Let's not do it all so we don't have to suffer again. But how can you ever get ready for something? How can we know that we are ready to start? How can you measure it? And how can this even help us? Preparing for something to do it well should mean that we will do a good job. But is that true? I'm confident I'm good to do a good job. And this expectation for being ready is What holds many of us back from taking that single step between who we are now and who we want to be in the future? We prepare and never start because there is no way to say we are ready. Now is the time to start. And then you turn on the video from some motivational speaker on YouTube who says that the best time to start is now. You just have to do it. But how can we know that we are ready if we can't even start with the thought that something might go wrong? So the first thing we need to do is to put our ego aside. This is important because it's the ego that doesn't let us be in second place or get a grade that isn't the highest. Most people won't even compete because second place is not the result their ego wants, and in the end, to deal with procrastination, we need to agree that we don't have to be the best of the best. But how? How is it even possible not to be the first? Let's say you get the best grade in a class. What's next? What new opportunities open up for you from getting just one single grade? Or you won a competition that you prepare for a long time. What's next? We need to learn to think and talk to ourselves. Is this grade really that important to me? What will it mean to me if I'm in second or third place? Will I be ashamed? Will I play the victim and never compete again? Why can't I allow myself to be imperfect? The main problem is that we avoid even the smallest chance of feeling negative emotions. We don't admit our mistakes right away because we expect to be blamed and shamed. We don't want to admit our failures because it will touch our ego and hurt us. And we don't like that. Our ego is afraid of getting hurt, so it's better for us not to do something than to do it badly. Or at least we think we will do it badly, not as the best which we feel we should be. And so we get these stupid situations where our brain protects us from ourselves. But what can really happen if we make a mistake? Yes, if your life depends on your mistake, your own or someone else's, that's a different story. But look at surgeons. They also make mistakes and they suffer from their mistakes no less than we do. But if they procrastinated to avoid making mistakes, they wouldn't be sure that this time the surgery will be successful, because the surgeon knows how to avoid a mistake. That's why the most valued surgeons are not the ones who graduated from medical school with honors, but the ones who have huge experience behind them. It turns out that by procrastinating because we think we won't be perfect, we become dependent on the outcome of our actions, not the other way around. By working with our ego, we can not only start taking action, but we can have more control over our lives. The first thing you need to do to free yourself from procrastination is to ask yourself, what are you trying to avoid? What is the real reason you can't start? Are you afraid of making a mistake, or do you not want to get negative feedback? Or maybe you are not recording that first YouTube video you want to make because you are not sure if anyone will be interested in you, and that your channel will be useless. That doesn't happen. I have never seen a single YouTube blogger who regularly releases content and has 0 subscribers. It's all in your head. Why am I not doing this right now? Ask yourself this question every time you feel that you want to do something but don't start, blaming it all on your procrastination. You don't need to stop procrastinating. You just need to truly answer the question, why don't I want to start? We don't look for answers, we always want to change for the better, but that won't happen until we start asking ourselves, what am I running from? I often say it, and I will repeat it many more times on this channel, meditation is a magical tool. No, this isn't about esoteric or mystical stuff. It's about studying yourself. Giving yourself 15-30 minutes to analyze yourself and your thoughts will help you deal with procrastination. Understanding our emotions is something that every person should strive for. Why am I feeling this or that emotion right now? What caused this emotion? Is this emotion destructive or is it helping me? The practice of breathing and meditation will allow you to be more in tune with your body. Instead, we can just keep saying that all our problems are because we are lazy and we procrastinate. But that's not true. There's no cure for procrastination and it's not even a symptom. But behind this word There is an incredible number of reasons that each of you can recognize without much effort. Another reason we procrastinate is that sometimes we just don't know how to start what we need to start. Many things we need to do can seem huge, just giant. For example, finding a job or creating an app or shooting your first YouTube video or organizing a conference. These are huge tasks that are impossible to do right here and now, and that's where the technique of breaking the complex task into small parts comes in. I tried this approach and it both works and doesn't work. We break a complex task into many small tasks and then we face another problem. The problem of choosing which task to start first, what to learn, and so on. And here I recommend analyzing the task from the end. We need to build a logical chain. For example, let's say you wanted to create a YouTube video for a long time. So our final point will be clicking the publish button. That's the final point. To publish the video, we will need to add a title and description. Before that, we will need to work on the thumbnail. Before that, we will need to edit the video. To edit the video, we need to understand what editing software we will use. But before that, we need to shoot the video. What camera are we using? Where and how do we record sound and so on? But before that, we need to develop a script for the video. Are we going to use a teleprompter or just speak our minds? We still need to write down some notes. But before that, we need to understand what we want to talk about, what we want to share, and so on and so on. And we built a great plan for how we can make our idea happen. This is a great tip. Use it and let me know what you think in the comments under this video. We will definitely talk more about how we can structure our lives, what techniques there are to raise our motivation, and what we need to know to live a happy life. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. And always remember that our life depends only on us and only we can make ourselves happy. Start loving yourself and I'll see you in a happy life.